Story of a Blind Love. Riya was a bright and cheerful girl. She lived in a small town with her parents and loved everything about life. She enjoyed watching sunsets, playing with her friends, and reading books. Riya's life was full of color and joy until one day, everything changed. When Riya was 18, she started noticing that her vision was becoming blurry. At first, she thought it was nothing serious, but soon, she couldn't see things clearly even when they were close to her. Worried, her parents took her to a doctor. After many tests, they received heartbreaking news: Riya was losing her eyesight, and there was nothing the doctors could do to save it. Riya was devastated. She felt as if her world had gone dark. She could no longer see the beautiful things she once loved. The sunsets, the flowers, her books, everything disappeared from her sight. She became quiet and withdrawn, staying in her room most of the time. She thought no one would understand her pain. Months passed, and Riya was still struggling to accept her blindness. Her parents tried to cheer her up, but nothing seemed to help. Then one day, a boy named Aman came into her life. Aman was kind and thoughtful. He had heard about Riya from his mother, who was friends with Riya's mom. He knew that she had gone blind and was finding it difficult to adjust. Wanting to help, Aman decided to visit her. At first, Riya was hesitant to meet Aman. She thought, why would anyone want to spend time with me now that I am blind? But Aman didn't see Riya as different. He saw her as the same girl who used to love life, and he wanted to remind her of that. Aman started visiting Riya every day. They talked about everything: life, books, music, and dreams. He told her stories, described the world around her, and helped her move around the house. Slowly, Riya began to feel more comfortable with him. She started to realize that just because she couldn't see didn't mean she couldn't enjoy life. One evening, Aman took Riya to the park. He held her hand and guided her to a bench. Can you hear the birds singing? He asked. Riya listened and smiled. She hadn't noticed how beautiful the world sounded before. Just because you can't see, it doesn't mean the world isn't still full of beauty, Aman said gently. You just have to experience it differently. Riya felt something change in her heart. Aman wasn't treating her like she was different or broken. He was showing her that she could still find joy and love in the world, even without her sight. As the days went by, Riya and Aman grew closer. Riya began to trust Aman more and more. She realized that love wasn't about seeing someone with your eyes, it was about feeling them with your heart. She started to believe that maybe she could be happy again, even without her eyesight. One day, as they were walking in the park, Riya asked Aman, why are you so kind to me? I can't even see you. Aman smiled and replied, because love isn't about seeing, Riya. It's about knowing someone's heart. And I know that your heart is beautiful. Riya was touched by his words. She had always thought that her blindness would stop her from being loved. But Aman showed her that love goes beyond appearances. It's about connection, trust, and understanding. Months turned into years, and Aman stayed by Riya's side through everything. He supported her as she learned to navigate the world in her own way. Riya started to smile again, laugh again, and feel happy again. She learned to live with her blindness, and she learned to love herself for who she was. One day, Aman told Riya that he loved her. Riya couldn't believe it. She had never thought someone would love her, especially after she lost her sight. But Aman had seen her heart, and that's what mattered to him. Riya smiled and said, I love you too, Aman. You've shown me that love is not about what we see, but what we feel. From that day on, Riya and Aman were inseparable. They shared their lives together, supporting and caring for each other. Riya realized that she didn't need to see the world with her eyes to experience love. She could feel it in every kind word, every touch, and every moment she spent with Aman. Their love grew stronger with time, and Riya knew she had found someone who loved her for who she was, not for what she looked like. It was a love that went beyond sight, it was a love that came from the heart. True love is not about what we see with our eyes but what we feel in our hearts. It is about understanding, trust, and caring for each other without judgment.